Welcome back, guys, to the fight breakdown. This week we got UFC 317. You got Ilia Topuria coming up from 145 pounds to challenge for the vacant 155-pound belt versus former champion Charles Oliveira. This fight's gonna end in a finish. We already know that, but we gotta get into the breakdown. Then, guys, you got co-main event. Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France. Now, this is a great battle. You got the powerful puncher Kai Kara-France versus arguably the man to make his argument to become the flyweight GOAT in Alexandre Pantoja. Let's get into it. Now, for the first fight of the night, we got Jacobe Smith versus Niko Price. This is going to be a very entertaining bout, but a very dominant bout. For Jacobe Smith, of course. Jacobe Smith has some amazing wrestling. Obviously, has done some crazy work down there. But this man packs a punch. And Niko Price, he's been getting KO'd left and right all over his career. He's nothing special, and especially nearing the end of his career at 35 years old, I don't see him doing well versus a guy like Jacobe Smith. I mean, this man got knocked out by a 40-year-old Robbie Lawler. It may be Robbie Lawler, the very high-talented man, but he was 40 years old. He was clearly out of his prime. You saw in all of his fights, he didn't look so great. And Niko Price, he fell victim to him in his last fight of his career. So guys, I'm going to take Jacobe Smith here, and I'm going to take him by finish. I feel like Niko Price has probably one of the easiest chins in the UFC to find, and I see no way that Jacobe Smith does not get this finish. I also think he could choke him, but that's for us to see, guys. No matter what, this fight will end in a finish. Next up, guys, we got Alvin Hines versus Jhonata Diniz. Now, guys, Diniz has a very big power advantage in this fight, a very big striking advantage in this fight. But you know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have the wrestling advantage. Alvin Hines is a much better wrestler than him. And we saw what Jhonata Diniz had to deal with in his fight versus Tybura. Those slicing elbows on the ground. He was getting controlled, getting mauled, and then eventually he got finished. And that's what I'm scared for in this fight. I mean, his groundwork, if it is not improving over time, then this guy's going to struggle with the big dogs. And Alvin Hines is nothing too special. I mean, he's coming into the UFC with an undefeated record. But when you look at his regional fights, guys, I was reviewing the footage, and this man got wobbled a lot on the regional scene. A lot. And when you're in the UFC, you're dealing with heavy power, and Diniz is one of the most, probably one of the hardest hitting fighters in his division. And I see no problem with him really striking Alvin Hines. I mean, Alvin Hines is really going to have to implement the threat of the takedown. But when it comes to getting on the ground, he's nothing too dangerous. I mean, he'll look for the strikes, but I don't see him getting a finish over Diniz here. I don't see it. If anything, I see Diniz landing that strike whenever he gets up in a round. He's going to land that strike on Alvin Hines, and Alvin Hines is going to get put out. Hines is going to get put out. When you get wobbled too much on the regional scene, and then you're in the UFC versus these big dogs, I don't see him doing well here. I just don't. I don't think the wrestling is going to be able to carry him through this fight. We've seen Jhonata Diniz face wrestlers, and as soon as he's able to get up, he puts them out. And I see no problem with him doing this versus Alvin Hines. Alright, guys. Now we have a last-minute matchup by the UFC. You got Sedriques Dumas versus Jackson McVey. McVey, he's 6-0 on the regional scene. He has 3 finishes by knockout, 3 finishes by submission. He's a threat. Every fight has not gone the distance. And you could actually watch all his tape, and it'll take you only 5 minutes because he finishes everyone within the first minute. And I think Sedriques Dumas is going to run into a problem here. I think McVey is dangerous. He just got called to the UFC, and he's excited. So I think he's going to finish Sedriques Dumas because Sedriques Dumas is spending all of his free time in prison. I mean, this guy has more arrests than John Jones, and he's done it in a much quicker time. Guys, Sedriques Dumas, even all of his fights, they're very boring. And I mean, in his last 5 fights, he won his 3. He won them by unanimous decision. But this guy has no eager to go for a finish like versus Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage only had 3 shots landed on him. I'm just saying. Then he gets KO'd by Ruzibiov. Just someone showing more offense in the fight. Then he gets KO'd by Olejczyk. And you can look at this, guys. He gets knocked out on the ground. He doesn't have a real sense on the ground. He gets finished a lot on the ground, at least, you know? I mean, Jackson McVey has a way to exploit him here. He could submit him. He could KO him. And as long as the fight takes place on the ground, it's a very dangerous fight for Sedriques Dumas. So, guys, my pick, it's going to be Jackson McVey because he's not in jail. I'm taking Jackson McVey. Alright, guys, now we got a fun fight in Terrance McKinney versus Viacheslav Borshchev. Guys, Viacheslav Borshchev is a very durable guy. Terrance McKinney gets KO'd left and right, but Terrance McKinney's a first-round type of guy. He'll go for the finish in the first round. He'll try, yeah. It's first round or nothing for him. I mean, really, guys. But he has a very good ground game here. He grapples for the finish, and that's what you got to do if it's a guy like Viacheslav Borshchev. Borshchev has never gotten KO'd. He's never gotten knocked out. But you know what he has gotten? Submitted. And McKinney could exploit that hole in Borshchev's ground game because Borshchev's ground game is practically non-existent. And I don't see Terrance McKinney not being able to exploit that. Terrance McKinney has been known to kind of go for their weakness. He has. Don't get me wrong, he gets exposed a lot in his fights. But when he sees his opponent has a weakness, he analyzes and he does it right away. And if he gets KO'd in the process, he does. But that's for us to find out. I don't see Terrance McKinney finishing Viacheslav Borshchev. I just don't. I think Borshchev is a very durable guy. It's a very durable chin. Now, his fight versus Chase Hooper, he did get knocked down before he got submitted by him. So maybe his chin is getting chinny. Maybe he's going to convert to a Terrance McKinney type of chin. But I don't see it being this fight. I think Terrance McKinney is going to have to take him to the ground to finish him. And if he doesn't, I think Terrance McKinney gets knocked out by Viacheslav Borshchev. But my pick is Terrance McKinney. The logical choice. The younger fighter. The better fighter. I'm going Terrance McKinney, and I'm going by submission. Next up, we got Tracy Cortez versus Viviane Araújo. Now, this is an amazing fight to watch, guys. Seriously, guys, don't take away from it just because it's a girls' fight. No, seriously, guys. Viviane Araújo stays healthy on the offseason. And credits to her because she's coming in versus a girl like Tracy Cortez, who is going to be looking to get a win after her loss versus Rose Namajunas. And Tracy Cortez is going to do that. She's going to do that. Now, their striking was very similar, so I was having a hard time really trying to break it. I mean, like, I needed to separate these fighters because I knew when it comes to the level change, Tracy Cortez is better. Though Viviane Araújo has some very good jiu-jitsu, Tracy Cortez's wrestling is going to be able to control Viviane Araújo and neutralize her on the ground. But when it came to the striking, it was very close. So I brought in Fight Signal AI. And guys, I got the stats right here. I mean, the striking accuracy, it goes to Viviane, but not by much. They are very similar. And then strikes absorbed per minute, guys. This is where it's a big separation. Viviane Araújo absorbs 4.9 strikes. That's almost 5 strikes per minute. Whereas Tracy Cortez, she has better defense. I mean, she only absorbs 3 strikes per minute. That's a big difference, guys, when it comes to the fight like this. I mean, guys, their ground game's very similar, but it's the striking where I think this fight is going to take place on. It's going to take place standing up, and I have no doubt that Tracy Cortez will beat Viviane Araújo now. Even at that minus 220 line, it's still worth it. Tracy Cortez will win here. Alright, guys, next up we got Jose Delgado versus Haider Amil. Haider Amil, he's the underdog in this fight, but isn't he in every fight? I mean, even versus William Gomis, he was an underdog, and he showed out in that fight. He got the decision. It was a split decision, but a very, very amazing performance by him. But let's talk about a bit about Jose Delgado. Now, this man has a very big reach advantage in this fight. He is younger by 8 years, and guys, this guy's very dynamic. I mean, he has a very high-level kicking threat. And don't sleep on his boxing because he could put you out with his boxing as well. But then you got Haider Amil. Haider Amil has a big wrestling threat in this fight. Jose Delgado's only loss of his career was to a grappler. Now, that was 2.5 years ago, and he could very well have improved since that fight. But let's assume he didn't. Haider Amil will have a huge advantage in this fight just by changing the levels, just by switching it up. And I see him winning here. I mean, he's placed again as the underdog. They continue to doubt him, and I'm going to have faith in Hyder Emil here. I think he could switch the levels, and he'll just be able to not finish him, but he will win. And I have no doubt about that. I mean, Hyder Emil also has a striking threat. He has some great power. Just because he's 35, don't sleep on this man. I'm telling you, Hyder Emil will win this fight. And it'll be probably, his 5th or 4th straight underdog win. Have faith in Hyder Emil, because I do. If you guys want to stop guessing fights and actually start predicting fights, FightSignal.com is the way to go for you. Rather you're a betting man or a guy that just wants to, or a guy or girl that just wants to know the UFC better, this is the way to go, guys. This is what I've been using to back up my data in my videos, and trust me, it's worth it because it is as accurate as it gets. A lot of the stats I'm getting from this website. Trust me, guys, FightSignal.com. Take a look at them. Use code FightCM for 50% off on their deals, guys. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. All right, guys, next up we got Gregory Rodriguez versus Jack Hermansson. Now, Jack Hermansson, he's the better 5-round fighter here. But this fight, it's 3 rounds. And Gregory Rodriguez has a significant power advantage in this fight. Now, Gregory Rodriguez may get hit much more than Jack Hermansson. But guys, seriously, this is a 3-round fight. Gregory Rodriguez, he's known to be dangerous in these, and I don't see a world where Jack Hermansson could beat Gregory Rodriguez in a 5-round fight. Now, when it comes to the grappling aspect, Gregory Rodriguez has better overall grappling skills, but when it comes to submissions, Jack Hermansson is there. But I just don't know if Jack Hermansson can do it to Gregory Rodriguez in this fight. I think Gregory has been doing very well, and I don't see him losing there. I just don't. I see Gregory Rodriguez being able to take advantage of it being a 3-round fight. Now, if it comes to the 3rd round, we're going to see Jack Hermansson probably put it on Gregory Rodriguez. Gregory Rodriguez is probably going to have a wasted tank by the 3rd round, but that's if it gets there. Guys, if we're going early, I'm going to take Gregory Rodriguez. If we're going late, it's probably Jack Hermansson. But I do see Gregory Rodriguez doing enough damage in the 1st and 2nd round to earn him a win here. Alright, guys, now we got Payton Talbott facing up against Felipe Lima. Now, both guys are talented prospects. Payton Talbott, though, in his last fight got exposed for his grappling. At least the lack thereof practice. Seriously. Guys, Payton Talbott got exposed by Barcelos, who just fought Cody Garbrandt and had another impressive win. But what do we know about Barcelos? He has a wrestling background, but he's very compact. Felipe Lima, he's very compact. He's 5'6". He has a very serious grappling threat. Submission offense is there. And he's also a very good striker. I mean, it's going to be competitive on the feet. I don't see Payton Talbott really much better anywhere versus Felipe Lima. Lima, I think he's going to be able to neutralize the striking realm, and it's going to come to him switching the levels versus Payton Talbott. I think he's going to take full advantage versus a guy like Payton Talbott. And I see a submission here. I really do. I don't think Payton Talbott makes it out of this fight. He's going to get finished. It's going to be submission or it's going to be ground and pound. But I don't think Payton Talbott had enough time now to really learn the true, aspects of grappling and really the defense there. I just don't think it's going to be there versus Felipe Lima. I think Felipe is just the much better all-around fighter right now. Maybe this fight would be good in a few years after Payton Talbott has improved in the areas he clearly needs to. But for now, this is Felipe Lima's fight. This is his fight to lose. He's going to win. He's going to win. I just don't think he can lose to Payton Talbott. Alright, guys, next up we got Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. Now, a lot of people have forgotten just how good Beneil Dariush is, aka Benny. Just saying, guys, at a point we thought that he was going to beat Islam Makhachev. I never thought that, but some people did. I'm just saying, guys, just look at his last 2 losses. I mean, if we look at this, guys, it's to Charles Oliveira and to Arman Tsarukyan. There's nothing to be ashamed in there. Now, he got knocked out by Arman Tsarukyan, but I don't think Renato Moicano possesses the power to knock a guy out like Beneil Dariush. I think Beneil is going to stick to the plan of trying to grapple with Renato Moicano, because Renato Moicano, though he has a BJJ belt, he has gotten controlled on the ground before, and I see Beneil Dariush being able to do so fairly easily. fairly easily. But in the striking realm, there's a power difference in Beneil Dariush, but there's also a speed difference. Renato Moicano, I see him as a much faster fighter in here, and I don't think Beneil Dariush is on the same level when it comes to the speed there. But obviously, if he lands that big shot, it could do a lot of damage. Yes. But I just think the better game plan here is going to come from Beneil Dariush, sticking to the ground game, grappling Renato Moicano, maybe getting a submission too, but I really see Beneil Dariush winning this fight. I think people forgot just how good he is and how his last two losses are to the top two lightweights in the world right now, other than obviously Ilia Topuria coming into the division. My pick's Beneil Dariush, and it stands. It stands. He's plus money. He's worth it. All right, now we got what many people think is the fight of the night. We got Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval. Now, guys, I'm going to take Joshua Van this fight, not just because I'm on his hype train and I just think he's an amazing fighter, constantly improving, yes, but just take a look at this, all right? Now, he lost to Charles Johnson, all right? He was getting hit with a lot of strikes. The next fight, he fought Chirez. He was getting hit by a lot of strikes, but he was getting the better end of it. And then, guys, you move on to Cody Durden. His striking defense was phenomenal in that fight. He got the better of every exchange, and he won that fight very decisively. A unanimous decision and well-deserved. Then his next fight. Oh, and another thing, guys. He was also getting taken down in a lot of his fights. Then you see him face a guy like Ray Tsuruya. People are concerned about his takedown defense. What does Joshua Van have? He probably had one of the best takedown defense of his whole career. His takedown defense has improved massively, and that's going to help him in a fight versus Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval, when he sees that he can't strike with the guy, he tends to try to switch the levels. You know, he goes to level change, and I don't think that's going to work versus Joshua Van. I think Joshua Van has been doing very well with the level changes, and guys, I think he could outstrike Brandon Royval. Now, for reasons, hear this. Just hear this out, all right? Brandon Royval has been fighting 5-round fights. 5-round fights, it's a bit of a slower-paced matchup as you get into it. You know, the first 2 rounds, you're not caring as much about. But Joshua Van, he's been caring about those first 2 rounds. He's been caring about every round. There's not a round that he doesn't care about in these 3-round fights. He's always looking to finish. And that's why I think that's going to be a very big difference maker in this fight versus Brandon Royval. I just do. I don't think Brandon Royval is going to be basically, you know, throwing enough volume in this fight. I think he's kind of just going to give up a round, and then he's probably going to give up another. He's probably going to realize in the 3rd round, oh man, I need to finish this guy. And he's not going to get the finish because you know why? Joshua Van improved his striking defense from that Charles Johnson fight. Guys, I'm going to take Joshua Van here, and I'm going to take it with high confidence. And I'm also on the hype train. So, guys, trust me, Joshua Van, he's the man. He's the myth, he's the legend, and he's getting the next title shot because he's going to be beating the #1 contender in Brandon Royval. Alright guys, next up for the co-main event, we got Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France. Now Alexandre Pantoja, he is known for having a high level of IQ in his fights, and he has some serious grappling to deal with for Kai Kara-France. There's going to be a lot of holes in Kai Kara-France's grappling game, and Alexandre Pantoja is going to take full advantage of that. Now, be aware that Kai Kara-France has the very big striking advantage when it comes to power, but the speed of Alexandre Pantoja could make up for that. Now, Alexandre Pantoja is known for being smart in his fights. He won't exchange with a guy that seriously has the power. He's going to know where to take advantage of him, and he knows that it's the grappling. They fought before, and guys, it's going to be very similar to this fight. Fight Signal AI actually even said that this is the fight that is going to be very similar to their last confrontation. I mean, there's just not enough improvements in Kai Kara-France's end of grappling where he could really take advantage in this fight and keep it on the feet. Alexandre Pantoja, he knows what to do, and he's going to do it. Guys, I'm backing Alexandre Pantoja. I just believe this man is making a run that not a lot of people could recreate, and he has the talent to do it. He has the talent to beat Kai Kara-France, and yeah, Alexandre Pantoja, I I think he's going to win it. It's decision or submission. But I really can see submission, guys. I could really see him getting it. All right, guys, it's main event time. We got Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Now, guys, few notes for both fighters. Now, Ilia Topuria, he has some amazing boxing. Some people say it's the best boxing in the UFC as he chinned Max Holloway, the unchinnable fighter. Where you got Charles Oliveira, he has a great submission threat. But here's the thing, guys. He walks forward in every fight, and he gets chinned in every fight. Now, he ends up finishing the fights somehow versus some fighters. But seriously, guys, that's going to be a big concern versus the hardest hitting fighter in that division, really. I don't see anyone hitting harder than Ilia Topuria. But note that Charles Oliveira has some power of his own. And Ilia Topuria, when he came up to 155 pounds in one of his fights versus Jai Herbert, he did get knocked down at the start of that fight. Then he came back and absolutely wiped the floor with his opponent. But it's something to consider. Now, guys, a little note about Charles Oliveira. His last fight versus Michael Chandler. It wasn't very impressive, was it? Seriously, guys, in that last round, Michael Chandler had him hurt. But even at that, guys, Charles Oliveira didn't look very good in that fight. If you saw it in there, he was hesitant to make certain moves, and he just wasn't making smart decisions. And versus a guy like Ilia Topuria, who also has a grappling threat, a very good jiu-jitsu background, just we haven't seen much of it. But what we have seen, he submitted Bryce Mitchell. And now Gene Silva has also done that. But I'm just saying, guys, the grappling threat is there. What I think will happen here, I think Ilia Topuria is going to knock down Charles Oliveira, as we've seen multiple times. But do I think he's going to ground and pound, get that finish there? No. I think Ilia Topuria is going to come there with a bit of an ego, be a bit of an egotistical fighter, and want to submit him with the same choke that Islam did, except faster. And I think Ilia Topuria has the power to get Charles Oliveira down on the ground faster. And I think he will get that submission. I think Charles Oliveira has a very vulnerable game to the arm triangle. And I think Ilia Topuria could very well get it. So, guys, my prediction, it's going to be an Ilia Topuria submission. And he's going to do it faster than Makhachev somehow. Thank you guys for watching the video. Now, seriously, guys, if you guys want any other picks like this, make sure to subscribe, guys. It's the way to do it. Guys, we're at 440 subscribers now. We're nearing 500. Nearing 1,000 soon. You never know. Whatever. But, guys, seriously, thank you for all the support. And if you guys disagree with any of my picks, make sure to challenge me in the comments down below. I always want to see what other people have as their picks. Because, you know, guys, who doesn't want to make money? Ciao, guys. Take care.